The following presentation was recorded live in Cincinnati, Ohio for CALLERLAB's 25th Annual Convention. This is tape 17, Contra Interest Session.
Okay, we're ready to go. This is Yona Chock. Lady on my right is Mona Cannel. I'm the moderator. We'll have Les Henkel over here on this side as soon as he gets back with the handouts that he's gone to collect. Mona will start. She is primarily a contra prompter, but she does introduces contra to Western dancers. Les, when he gets here, is primarily a square dance caller who uses contras in his program. So you'll get two different aspects of the same thing. Just out of curiosity, how many of you in here are contra dancers or contra prompters? And how many of you are Western square dancers that are just interested in finding out what contra can add to your program? Oh, good. We got a nice split then. Excellent. Mona, over to you.
How many of you have ever called a grand square correctly? In this room, we do not consider saying side space grand square anywhere in the music or picking the music up in the middle of the grand square and setting it back to the beginning to be a proper way of calling a grand square. We are talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 side space grand square with the command properly placed on beats 5, 6, 7, and 8 or 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 of a musical phrase, okay? If you have to ask what a musical phrase is, please do it now. We would like to get that cleared up before we proceed, okay? There is one distinction that is extremely important for any square dance caller who is thinking of adding contras to their program for variety. There is a difference between rhythm and phrase. You must know the difference between rhythm and phrase. Rhythm is the beat upon which your feet hits the floor. Your foot hits the floor. The phrase of the music is what the dance is built upon. In contra dancing, we prompt call our direction before the phrase of the music in which the dancers are going to dance to the rhythm. Okay, so you have to know what a phrase is in order to be able to add contras to your program. That doesn't mean that you have to call in phrase in the square dance hall. That would be very difficult for most of us because we never learned to call in phrase. Callers did many, many years ago because most of the commands were phrased out in 8 counts. It was Alaman left with a your left hand and a coming by the right and a right and a left grand, and you had 8 counts to do your Alaman left. Well, of course, that timing doesn't apply anymore, and as a result, we've gotten away from calling to the phrase of the music. The only remnant that we have in square dancing today is the grand square and other variations of the grand square, or things like grand sachet, where you must prompt the dancers ahead so that they can comfortably dance the movements. When you add contra to your program, you need to think in terms of calling like you would properly call a grand square. In other words, if you would say 1, 2, 3, 4 sides face grand square, you would say 1, 2, 3, 4 with your corner do side o, and then they start. You'll find if you add contras to your program that your dancers will smooth out. Your own calling timing will improve. And so it's a very good activity to add to a square dance caller's repertoire. Now then, I'm going to turn this over to Les because I want him to do the square dance part of the presentation first.
Good morning. Good to see you. You all look like you're alive, thankfully. In contra dancing, I'm a square dance caller, and I use contra dancing in square dances at a club level as frosting on the cake. I do not have a contra group per se. Pardon? Oh, somebody's out in the hall. Well, we'll include them. I always start at a square dance with a circle contra and never tell them what it is. Give me 4 couples up here right quick. Just 4 couples, all we need. And I'll just go through this couple. We did this the other night at the other afternoon at the rest and be thankful. 2 more couples. This couple right in front of me face that couple. The other 2 couples behind you here. Couples facing couples, just like that. Like you are in a promenade position, 1 couple wheels around. You don't understand me yet? I'll get you there, don't worry. Are you ready? 1 couple fold in front of the other couples. Right here, fold in front of them. You guys fold in front of them. Okay. Now you're in a big circle going around the room, right, like this. Let her fly. You 4, circle left, go. And the back part of the right, go the other way back. Remember this if you dance with the Sunday. Ladies, chain. Chain them on back. You 4, make a left hand star, go. Back for the right, go the other way back till you get back to your home position. When you get there, walk forward up, and it comes right back. Pass through to a brand new 2. Stop right there. As you would go around the ring, in a large ring around the outside of the dance floor, you'd always have couples facing couples, and they'd pass through to face a brand new 2 and pass through to face a brand new 2. So you're always dancing with different couples around the dance floor. And I always use a circle contra to start with. I'm much different than these 2 ladies. They do it much differently than I. But I work with square dancers. And there's 2 things that square dancers, you have to explain to them. Number 1 is the direction that they're going to be going. In this case, the direction you're facing, that's the direction you're going to be moving around the ring. The second thing is what happens in the dance. You can quickly go over this because this is a very simple dance. You guys can sit down now. Thank you. One thing, thank you very kindly. One thing that you, as a square dancer or a square dance caller, will find if you do a circle contra is that the circle gets smaller toward the center as you do the dance. And so it's like round dancing. When you give round dance lessons, the circle keeps getting bigger as they move. The circle gets smaller on a circle contra for square dancers because they're going to take the path of the least resistance. Square dancers will cheat a little bit, you know. So what you have to do is as your circle is getting smaller, you've got to figure out some way to keep these people from starting the next segment of the dance and doing it ahead of the timing. And so I'll say wiggle both ears, stamp both feet, bow the opposite, do anything like that to make them hesitate as this circle gets smaller, because there will be a definite cheating on the movements, on the time it takes the movements. Anyway, that's a little dance I do. And the second thing I do for square dancers, I will start. Give me another square right quick. I'll start the dance. Maybe give me 8 couples out here right fast. 8 couples. Don't be bashful. Just jump up. Oh, the record I used was Wizard on the Hill, Chinook 052. That's the one I generally always use. This one here, the one I used this time was Don Bartlett and the Scotians. It's a Canadian record, and Rest and Be Thankful was the name on this. It's a CSPS, Canadian something, whatever it is, 1404. And it's a very nice piece of music. You can get them through the Canadian, it's called TAC. What's that called up there? Mona, you remember? What's the Canada called up there? TAC, it's TAC something. But we can talk later about that. Anyway, so we have 2 squares, roughly. If you got enough right there, 2 squares. The next thing I would do at a square dance, get a little closer to each other. Whoa. I would do what we call this is in lines, and sure, yeah. Ben the Great, that fellow standing up there does a good job. Oh, okay, get over here. This is a Beckett type dance, and by Beckett, the next thing square dancers understand is their partner, and they understand their corner. And I keep it that way, and I don't tell them it's a Beckett dance. I just say make lines, and I'll have heads lead right and circle forward and break to a line, and get them in lines, and I'll have join two squares together. And now this dance, you're always dancing with your partner. You're always dancing with a couple straight across from you, and your corner's on the proper side. And so with your corner, element left. Come home, swing your partner. The catch of this dance comes right now. Everybody slant to the left. Look at that couple cattywampus to your left. Now there will be one couple on each end of the line that don't have anybody to look at. Everybody else do a right and left through. Adjust your line so you're looking straight across at a couple. Now everyone do a right and left through. That's the progression right there. For square dancers, you got to tell them, look cattywampus. And after you get that done, there's going to be a person on each end of the line that does not have anyone to dance with. They just wait out that right and left through at that time. That's 8 beats. Then they can dance because straight across them, then they'll have it right and left through. You 4 people, ladies, chain straight across. And chain them back. Over there, too, also. I said you 4, the people you're working across with. Same 4, make a left-hand star. Back to the right. Back home to begin. Okay, so now you've had progression. If you remember where you started the dance at, you're either up 1 position or down 1 position. If you're on the end of the line, you've moved across to the other end of the line. Throw some music on there of any kind. How about this one here? I like this one better.
Spindle.
Yes.
Oh my, doing this.
You might notice when you're making a left-hand star, if the next command is going to be promenade, you have your lady's left hand in the star. You keep it. You don't let go and then reach back in. Just keep it and promenade right out of the star. It's a lot smoother.
That's the music we'll use. And start with it. Everybody, get ready to take a look at your new corner. With the corner, do, so do, go. Swinger. Face across. Slant left and a right and left through. Straight across, right and left through. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's the next thing. Just go back, get yourself lined up. Don't worry about it, gang, because this is what you're going to run across in square dancing and with square dancers. They're going to do their own thing. You always want to swing your lady, just like square dancing, and put her on your right-hand side. She's your brand new lady. We'll change the dance a little bit. Keep smiling. This time with your corner. Corner, element left. Swing your partner. Slant to the left, right and left through. Straight across, right and left through. Ladies, chain up. Chain back. Put your left hand in, left hand star, just like that. Back with the right, go the other way back. New corner, element left. Swing your own. Slant left, right and left through, go. Adjust yourself straight across, right and left through. Ladies, chain. Chain back. To a left-hand star like that. rest yourselves. Thank you very kindly. That's the second type of contra. That's about the second thing I would do. Go ahead and sit down, gang. That's about the second thing that I would do at a square dance, would be a Beckett-type contra. Why? Because there are partners beside them. Everything else, the corner is on the other side of them. Everything else is even Steven for square dancers. You can't make it very complicated to start with. And it works very fine. Mona, would you like to say something?
I would like to have, let me see, 2 squares, 8 couples, quickly. Different people. 2 squares, 8 couples. We are not going to let your bottoms get sore on these chairs this morning. Believe me. This is a hands-on session. We firmly believe in the Contra and Traditional Committee that one of the best ways of learning is by doing. Go ahead and make that the head of your, make squares first. I want to show you how. For a square dance caller who is first getting started, sometimes it's very difficult to figure out, we need one couple over here, to figure out how to make the transition from squares to contra lines. For a lot of square dance callers, you can get yourself in trouble very easily if you start to set up the wrong way, or it can take so long that the dancers lose interest. The very quickest way I know of to get square dancers from a square into a contra line is this. Sides lead to the right. That's it. Everybody face your partner and back away. You're there. You are now in a contra line. Your partner is in front of you, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Your partner is supposed to be in front of you. With square dancers, I do not advocate going into proper lines where all the girls are in one line and all the guys are in the other until they have done quite a large number of contras, so they have some experience and some confidence that you know what you're doing, okay? Because it takes a leap of faith to move from a setup where they're comfortable to a setup that is foreign to them in a square dance hall. In a contra hall, it's something else again entirely. What? Oh, all right. Get back into your square again. Now then, if you do want to get them into a proper line, the quickest way to do it is this. Couple number 1, California twirl. Couple number 2, fall in behind them. Couple number 4, fall in behind them. Everybody face your partner and back away. You're there. Okay? All right. Now then, get back in your square.
That was a proper contra line.
That was a proper contra line.
That means
I always tell the dancers the difference. I always tell them a proper line is where you have to reach out a long way to touch someone of the opposite sex. Okay? All of the women are in one line, all the men in the other. Sides lead to the right. Face your partner, back away. Now we're back where we started in our improper duple contra line. There are contras that have been written for square dancers and to be used with square dance music. The only thing I ask of you is that when you start with your square dancers, and we're going to start with square dance music because that's what they're comfortable with, is that you use music that is very good music, very well phrased. If you can hit the one beat without even thinking about it, then it's a very well-phrased piece of music and you can easily use it. I'm going to give you an example here. Sure.
This is what she said was an improper duple line. What that means is that your partner is straight across in the other line. As you move up and down the line of dance, your partner will always be across from you in the other line. When you come to the end of the line, if you just California twirl, you'll change places eventually, and you'll be coming back the opposite way, up and down the line. Another thing, in the improper duple like this, it's the next best thing to teach square dancers, because your partner will always be on the proper side of you, and so will your corner, to my best knowledge. So keep that in mind. If, for example, all the boys face left, all the ladies face right, that's your corner, see? And square dancers understand this. Well, it just depends how it was set up. You know, I don't know how. Well, I'm just saying it should be your corner.
But we are not talking original corner. We are talking definition. Corner definition is correct.
How fast?
What does duple mean? Duple is 2. Triple is 3. So when we talk about an improper duple, the dancers don't need to know that until they're experienced enough to be able to set up like this when you say, I want an improper duple line, 1, 3, 5, 7 crossover. That doesn't come right at the beginning. Right at the beginning, you set them up out of the square that they know, and you set them up so that they don't have to think about it. All right? You don't want them to have to make choices. You're making the choices for them. And before we go any farther, I want to get one key concept across. This is probably the most important thing that you can do for your dancers, is to tell them this. In the square dance hall, the caller adjusts the dance to the music for the dancers. In the Contra hall, the music is the master. The dancer must learn to adjust himself to the dance and the music. So there is a big difference. Okay? All right, now then, when you have them in this formation, by definition, they know who the corner is. So everybody turn and face your corner. With your corner, you are going to do a back-to-back do-si-do. Please specify. Go. Back-to-back do-si-do. With the same lady in just a second, but not yet. In just a second, you're going to swing this same lady. Gentlemen, you will put her on your right hand, and you will all face the exit sign back there. Okay? Swing that lady. Put her on your right hand and face that exit sign, and you'll find that you are in a line of 4 if you look over alongside of you. All right? In your line of 4, you're going to have to mark time because there's not much room, but go down in line of 4. Go down the hall. Just promenade. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Wheel around as a couple with the man backing up and come back. Come back to place. Bend the line. Go right and left through. Same 2 ladies, chain across, keeping in mind to take your time. Same 4, circle 4. Go exactly once around. Now go a quarter more. You're facing up and down again. Now then, don't drop hands yet. Don't drop hands yet. That's it. Now then, in just a second, we're going to do a pass-through to a new corner to begin the dance over again. But in order to make it flow better and to be nice and sociable with those folks that have been dancing with you, what you do is you kind of give a little rear back and smile at them and then pass through, okay? All right, now pass through, and you're facing a new corner, and in just a second we'll begin the dance over again, and you will do-si-do, okay? Now, for those of you who are facing out, and this does happen whether you have 4 couples in a contra line or 6 or 8 or however many. And when this happens, the people who come out to the end must realize that in order to keep dancing, they have to get turned around back facing other people to dance with, okay? The easiest way for square dancers is probably to tell them to California twirl. All right, now then you'll just wait a minute while they do the figure once, and then we'll get you into it. We're going to do this dance twice. The music is a readily available singing call on buckskin label called Goodbye My Lady Love.
1248.
1248. Buckskin. Les said to tell you that that music that he used that you danced to is Music Box Dancer on Bogan. 1314. All right. Inflation reel. With your corner do-sa-do. Same lady swing. Put her on your right hand, go down in fours. Wheel around, come back. Bend the line, go right and left through. Now the ladies chain. Take all the music, circle 4, exactly once around. Now go a quarter more, rear back, pass through, new corner, do-sa-do. Same lady swing. Put her on the right, go down in fours. Now wheel around, come back, bend the line, go right and left through. Same ladies chain across, don't rush it. Circle 4, once around, and a quarter more, rear back, pass through, and do-sa-do, and that's enough of that. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Now then, that was a very peppy piece of music. You can really get the dancers swinging off the chandeliers with that one, depending upon the Contra dance choreography that you use and what the crowd is doing. And if they're comfortable and happy, they'll really sail with that, and they will. They'll be excited, and they'll go up. The music will go up. Yes?
Did you start the dance with the static or in the line? I was taking notes.
Started the dance. I started by setting them up in a square and moving them to the lines. But the dance itself does not start until they get into the lines. Later on, once you become a real expert, which is a drip under pressure, you know. But once you really know what you're doing, why, you will be able to dance them out from the square into the lines, get them dancing to the music, and then begin the Contra dance routine without having to stop and talk at them, which is very nice to be able to do. But don't try it right at the beginning, because you'll get yourself in trouble. All right, here is another piece of music you could use for the same dance for an entirely different feeling. This is on K-Lox, and it's a piece of music called Martha Ellen Jenkins. A pretty, pretty little ballad. I'll give you the number in a second. Now with your corner, you do-sa-do. She's very quiet. Same lady swing. Put her on the right, go down in 4. So you see that that's an entirely different feeling with the same dance. If you chose to only do one dance for 6 months, by changing the music, you could do that same dance every dance. The dancers probably for a long time would not even recognize the fact, because you would teach it each time. You would not assume that they knew it. You know what that word assume means, and you don't want to do that. Right. All right, but you would do that with different music like that, so that the mood was different every time. They would get very confident that they could trust you and trust the dance to be able to enjoy themselves and be successful at it. Then you could move on. The name of that dance, by the way, is the Inflation Reel, and I believe it was written by Dick Ledger. Tony Parks. I'm sorry, Tony Parks.
Tony Parks.
And that was written for square dancers. It is also, you can use Bye Bye Blues to do that too. Most standard singing call music. But I do want to inject a note of caution here. Before you use any piece of square dance music, or any other kind of music either for that matter, do count it out. Make sure that you have your 64 beats or 32 bars of music. And I do not advise you to get into non-standard contra dances for a very long time. Eventually that will come, but you need to be thoroughly grounded in this stuff before you go on to it, because you can get yourself in real trouble if you wind up with a 24-bar piece of music or a 48-bar piece of music and you're trying to do a 32-bar dance. All of a sudden, you're through and the music keeps going and you really don't know what to do about it, okay? So stay with standard stuff. The other thing to do is to very carefully check your beats per minute, because contra dances should be accomplished somewhere between 124 and 128 beats per minute. If you get music that is faster than 128 beats per minute, you will run them to death, because in contra there is no stop time. There's no downtime for them to rest, for them to stop. So as a result, you need to have the music at a moderate tempo so that they don't kill themselves out there. Okay, Les?
In that regard, it's much easier today to do a contra at a square dance. The square dancers will accept it much better today than they did, say, 20 years ago, or 25, or whatever. Nowadays, many times they'll ask if you can do a contra because it's frosting on the cake for them. And many years ago, they specifically would send a contract to you and say no contras. So it's much easier now. Again, contra, you pre-cue it like you would a round, and you try to give the dancer the first beat all the time, just like you should be doing as a square dance caller. And it works out nice. Now, most of the music that I use for contra is square dance music. I do use some Scottish music now and then, but I don't make a habit of doing it every night. I try to use music that the dancers are familiar with. And here's another one. I'll give you a couple as we go along here. This was his on top record, Cotton Pickin', and it gives you a little bit of a boost. I'll give you just a few beats of that. They just jump right out and start going. That's Cotton Pickin', that's on top, and the number is 25211. Another one that is kind of a smoothie type dance is on hi-hat, Who's Your Lady Friend, 433. Nice piece of music. I'm going to run a couple, 3 or 4 through here. Dancers like that music. Another piece of music here. On TNT, it's called Star and Promenade Contra. The regular contra to this music. This has more fiddle in it, see? This is more traditional sound. Now, when I'm looking for a contra to do at a square dance, I try to utilize contras that are designed and written by very good expert contra people. Roger Wynot, Dick Ledger, Tony Parks, that's Ken Kernan, Bob Howell does a nice job on. There's some very fine contra people that do contras and write contras, and they utilize square dance music. It works really nice. Go ahead.
By the same token, there are some square dance callers that you all know who do contras and do them very well. You may not have run into them doing contras, but ask Mike Seastrom. Mike has a video out showing contra dancing, how to call them. It's an excellent example of that. Jerry has a video tape out. Jerry Helt. Jerry who, yes. Stu Shacklet has some videos out through the Kentucky Dance Institute, so you might wish to speak with him. And Bob Howell, where are you? Are you in here? Bob is our representative, attending as the representative of ContraLab. And any of you who know any of the members of ContraLab, they're all more than willing and delighted to help you get started with Contra prompting. I would like to have 4 couples, please, for just a minute. Different 4. Right up here. Sure.
There's a sign-up sheet going around. Apparently there was some confusion and the office did not get the handouts for this session printed. So as the sign-up sheet comes by, would you put your name and mailing address? We'll see to it that the handouts are mailed to you later. That's 2 couples. I can count.
Yes, 2 plus 2 equals 4. We need plus 2. We need plus 1. Where have I heard that term before?
The sign-up sheet that's going around, be sure you put your name and address, put your address and such on it so we can get the handouts to you.
Okay, now, couple number 1, California Twirl. Couple number 2 falling behind them. Couple number 4 falling behind them. Everybody face your partner back away. Basic dance definitions for all of you so that you know where you're going and where we came from. This is a proper country dance or contra dance set. This happens to be a 4-couple set, but there are many, many dances that have been written for 4-couple sets. So it is a formation that is well worth pursuing. In any contra line, there are several traffic directions that you need to know. The head of the set, of course, is closest to the music, but the other end is called the foot. Okay? All right, now then, we have a number of different types of progression in contra dancing. Just so that you know what they are, I would like for the head couple that is closest to the music, take your partner, do-sa-do with your partner. We will assume you have now done the whole beautiful dance. Head couple, take your partner, promenade down the center to the foot. The others move up 1 place. That is a whole set progression. That means that 1 couple does the active part of the dance, or initiates it at least, and then they move to the foot of the set in order to accomplish a progression. Each couple in turn will become head couple and move to the foot of the set. And that is a whole set progression. Other dances that are whole set progression dances include the body of dances called the Virginia Reels. But they are only one group of the dances done as a whole set progression. There are many delightful dances in this formation. Now then, we also have something called a triple contra. A triple contra, if I can have the 4th couple just step down away from everybody else for a minute. The foot couple. Thank you very much. All right, now then. I would like for the other 3 couples to join their hands in a circle. All right? In this formation, triple minor formation, you may have a very long contra line, but the people who are going to work together within the contra line are the people identified by this little circle that you're in. And normally when we begin a triple, we ask everyone to take what we call hand 6, or 6 people joining hands. Okay, and that identifies the group of people that you're going to dance with first. Then you move down the line 1 couple at a time, pick up a couple on the bottom end and drop off a couple on the top end. It is not difficult. It is not frightening. It's just a little strange at first, that's all. Okay, step back into your line now, please, and couple number 4, join them again. Then we move to the duple improper set. Well, let's do duple proper first. This time, take hands 4. We're now in a circle of 4 people with hands joined, which is what hands 4 means. And this is a proper duple contra, which is probably the most numerous body of dances. At least it was until square dance callers got a hold of contra dancing. But many, many contra dances are done in this formation, and they are a delightful group of dances. I would highly recommend that when the day comes that you move on from improper duples, that the next thing you do be a proper duple. Okay? Thank you. Now, if you'll drop hands, couple number 1 and couple number 3 trade places with your partner. Sorry about that. With your partner. All right, now we are in improper duple setup. And now it is much easier to see where the little sets are because each one looks like a couple, doesn't it? You have a man and a woman standing side by side in each set, and there is a couple facing a couple, more or less. All right, so it's more easily identifiable to square dance callers at the very beginning, and that's why we very often start with this setup. There is no one right way and no one wrong way to do this, guys. You do what you feel most comfortable and knowledgeable about. And maybe somebody will feel more comfortable with proper than improper. You never know about those things. Now I'm going to show you one thing that happens. Everybody in the set, face your corner. When you reach the end of the set, do the automatic crossover, partner trade, okay? All right, everybody pass through. Those who can, pass through. This is a double progression. You have changed whom you're looking at twice instead of once in this particular setup. Now then, supposing that you're doing this and somebody gets screwed up. It happened a little while ago when we were dancing, and I forgot it was Les or me, but whoever it was said, swing and put her on the right, and somebody didn't. Okay? So you have a line messed up. And in contra dancing, as in progressive squares, it is a creeping disease. If you have 2 people and they get screwed up, then the next movement it's 4, and the next movement it's 8, and pretty soon the whole set is down. So what you do at that point is, don't fight it. There's no way to fight it. What you have to do for the dancer's comfort, and so they don't panic entirely, pick up the needle and say, okay, we've gotten a little bit loused up here, now erase. This is the proper use of the term erase. It is not to be used after you've had a successful walkthrough before you put the record on. And it is not to be used in any other case except where people have gone astray and you need to reset the whole line. Okay? In that case, it is the quickest, easiest, most self-explanatory way to get the dancers quickly back to where they need to be in order to be able to dance. We have, let me see, something else. Okay. Let me see. Do you all remember where you started before we try this? So let's make sure. It was a double progression, so you have to move back 2 places. Okay? No, let them do it this way once.
That's just exactly what happens on a square dance floor.
That's exactly what happens, yes.
Pardon me. Oops, pardon me.
There is a much more graceful way to do this, and I'm going to let our chair lady show you how to do it.
She put her foot in it.
Okay, we're going to have the couples that are crossed over. You're the improper ones. Would you face your corners? Everybody face your corner. Pass through one place. Now, if I've got you here and I want to get you back where you started from, I tell the active men, they're the ones who did the crossover. Everybody face in your line. Active men, offer your right hand to your lady's right hand. Guide her up the set, just the active two, and put her back where you found her, bow to her, and step back into line. If everybody does that at the same time, it looks like you know what you're doing, and the audience never knows that you just screwed it royally.
May I make a couple comments? Now, when I do contras at a square dance, I always utilize even-numbered lines, like 2 squares, or if I really get gutty, 3 squares. I never use odd-numbered line where there's because using an odd-number line, if you're just new at this, one time they'll cross over at the head, and the next time they'll cross over at the foot, and it blows your mind. It also blows the dancers' minds. I use even-number lines so that one time nobody crosses over, and the next time those at the head and foot cross over at the same time, and then it works very, very well. But you.
Just changing the tape.
If you have a number of contra lines, and let's say there's 4, 3 of them are even-numbered lines, and 1 line is odd-numbered. Odd numbers of couples I'm talking about. You have your hands full, because you start thinking about what's happening over there, and pretty soon you forget what you're trying to prompt them and tell them. While you guys are up here, square your set, please. At a normal square dance, I very seldom ever use a proper contra. Very seldom. Heads lead right and circle to a line. Okay, now if we had a couple 1 and 3 cross over and change places with your partner, do that. That's what we call an improper contra line. Whoop.
It's proper, but they're on the wrong side.
Yeah, proper on the wrong side. Everybody pass through. You turn back. Now we're proper. The men's on the right-hand side, ladies on the left-hand side. Number 1 couple. You're going to be you're the one the closest to me. Don't do nothing. Everybody bend your line so that fellow over there on the side wall is going to be the head of the hall. In your own line, back around, ladies, back up. Men, go forward or whatever. Okay, there we go. Number 1 couple. You're going to be the ones that's going to work this. This is a type of a deal I would work with to utilize maybe a type of a proper line. Number 1 lady, you're going to lead the rest of the ladies in line behind you all the way around the men and back home to place in 16 counts. Then number 1 man, you're the lead man, you're going to lead all the men around the line back home to place. When you get back home, the lead couple is going to go down the center. When I tell them to, they're going to U-turn back and come back to the head. They're going to separate and go around the outside of the foot. Just listen close. Face down the line of dance. Ladies, lead, go. Men, get ready. Men, go. Just lead them around. Follow the leader. Keep facing down the set. Number 1 couple, go down the center. Do a U-turn back. Come on, back up. Separate, go down to the foot on the outside. When you get there, number 1 couple, do-sa-do. All the way around. Okay, now I'm crowding the music a little bit. Now it'll be the next lead couple's turn, and they will do the same thing. That's a type of a dance I would utilize to show the square dancers. Go sit down if you would, please. Give them a hand, folks. They've been up a long time. That's the type of a dance I would use to show square dancers this proper contra setup deal. I don't know whether this is a real proper contra dance, but to me, all I want to do is give them a taste anyway. And if I was to do a proper contra, I would never do over a 4-couple dance. Number of reasons. The biggest is that it's quicker to straighten out. I just primarily stay away from, at a square dance, I stay away from proper dances. Go ahead.
There is a whole body of things that needs to be discovered and learned by people who want to do contras at square dances. However, one of the basic things that you need to learn to do is to notate your own dances. That is to say, we could give you 100 sheets of dance handouts with the dances all notated and described and the commands written out for you. You would never use them. I don't use them. I have them at home in books and in resource material. And that, yes, you should do. You should have at least one resource book to begin with. There are many available. We have some resources here for you to look at, records over here and tapes. There are books available from Supreme Audio, from Palomino. They both either have them or can get them for you. There has been a very good one written by Stu Shacklett, a very good one by Don Armstrong, a very good one by, oh nuts, I can't think of it. Yeah, I can't think of it. Tony Parks has one out. So there are a number of them. I just can't, it just went out of my head.
The book by Don Armstrong is orange, like sets in order, an orange booklet, sometimes blue.
Yeah.
It was called, at its time, the by far best
for square dance callers.
Best book for information for square dance callers.
Now, there are many other books available that are written primarily for people who are already somewhat knowledgeable as contraprompters. I'm going to give you a dance. You all got an index card when you came in here. I'm going to read to you the dance, name and description, and I want you to write it down on that index card in a way that you can understand how you want to do it. It's just like each of you as a caller has your own individual way of notating patter calls or singing call figures or zeros that you want to use and what have you. So what I want you to do is to take this one step at a time and write it down. The name of this dance, I think I'll give you the one that we did here, since you saw that one. What did I do with it? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, there it is. Inflation reel. Inflation reel.
You'll find as you do this particular dance, the inflation part is a quarter more.
This is back in the days. This was written back in the days when inflation was a big thing nationwide, and Tony called this inflation real and put in a quarter more to show where the inflation is. This is a improper. You all know what that means. Men in the ladies line. It's corrupted. Improper duple. D-U-P-L-E, duple. Now then, however you want to describe it on your card, make sure that you make a note that each of these commands must come on the last 4 beats of a musical phrase, either beat 5 to 8 or beat 13 to 16. Yeah, that's right. And each of the movements in a contra dance will take multiples or divisibles of 8. In other words, you're never going to have anything take less than 4 beats. And you will probably mostly be working in 8 and 16 beat blocks. The first command comes on the last 4 beats of your introduction. So if you would have a 16-beat introduction, what beats would it come on? 13, 14, 15, and 16. And the closer you get it to 16, the better off you are, because square dance callers have square dancers have a tendency to jump the gun And if you say do, si, do on 13 and 14, they're going to start on 15. You want them to start on 1. So the command is you're going to face your corner and you're going to do, si, do with them. All right. Now, how would you say that so that they couldn't jump the gun? You wouldn't say do, si, do, your corner girl. You would say with your corner. Do, si, do. Now, do, si, do's on 15 and 16, so they can't jump the gun. They have to start on 1. Okay? And this is where the music being master is so important. I have heard callers do it the other way, and invariably, even if they're experienced contra dancers, they will jump the gun. And then they'll wonder why they don't feel comfortable. The next command is with the same girl swing. Yes. Remember, it says, how long does a do, si, do take? It takes 8 beats. So after you say do, si, do, you wait 4 beats, and so it would come on 5 to 8. Then you wait 4 beats. A swing takes 8 beats, hopefully, especially if you make them practice it that way. And then you say, put her on the right, and before you start doing the dance, this is one of the teaching keys, you will aim them. When they come out of the swing, they're going to come out of it with the lady on the right facing the back of the hall, so that they're in a line of 4, okay? Now, you notate that on your card, however it makes most sense to you. And that command is put her on the right, go down in 4s. Go down in 4s. After you put her on the right, you are now in a line of 4 facing the back of the hall. And go down in 4 simply means to promenade in the direction in which you are facing. Then you will tell them, wait just 2 beats, because if you wait any longer than that, they're going to charge off and run the Kentucky Derby. And so you want to stop them quickly and smoothly. So you say, put her on the right, go down in 4s, and then you wait just 2 beats and say, wheel around. As a couple, they wheel around to face back the other way. Then wait 2 beats more and say, come back. Why only 2 beats? Because those are 4-beat commands. So you have to give them 2 beats lead time only. Then bend the line. Wait 2 beats. And on 7 and 8 or 15 and 16, you say go right and left through. Then you wait 4 beats. At least. I say with square dancers, I do this because I don't like to nag at them, but you've got to keep reminding them, with the music, 2 ladies chain. Now how many beats does that take, gang? That takes 8. The next command is a very short one, so you wait 6 beats to give it, and it is circle 4. Then you wait just 4 beats and say once around and go a quarter more. Now, quarter more only takes 4 beats to do. So you only wait 2 beats, and then you say pass through. That is the end of the dance. The next command is new corner do, si, do, which begins your dance again. Put a little asterisk or a little mark, an attention mark, right after where you say once around and a quarter more. Make a note on the bottom of your card that little mark indicates that is where you need to start worrying about The couples at the end who have run out of people to dance with, crossing over. So that when you prompt the dance, you can say, circle 4, once around and a quarter more, cross over at the head and foot, pass through new corner do sa do.
If you have even number couples, the crossover be every other time. The first time you have no crossover, the next time you have a crossover. Third time, no crossover. The fourth time, you'll have a crossover. So you understand that.
Now, write your cards yourself. Get your instructions out of your books and your resource materials. Buy yourself a pack of inexpensive index cards and get you a little notebook or a ring to hook them together so you don't lose them, and put them down in the way that is most comfortable for you to understand. That will make the dance truly yours and something that you can use and be comfortable with, and that's what we want. Yes? The music, I'm trying to think, what music did I use for that? Martha Ellen Jenkins was one of them.
That was the slow one.
That was the slow one. The fast one was Goodbye My Lady Love on Buckskin. I have also used Shotzi on Blue Star, One Horse Reel on Gren, and Bye Bye Blues on about 3 different labels. What you need to do is find a piece of music that is comfortable for you. But please do remember the suggestions we gave you about tempo. And make sure that the music is standard length, because otherwise it will not work with this dance, which is a standard length dance. Now then, we need, I think, Jonas, you said we need to take
We want to open the
questions?
floor up to questions, but before I do, I wanted to make sure any of you that have not worked with Contra before, when you buy a Contra record, it will have a sheet of paper in it with ... Each of those, or ... Each of those is a beat of music. Then it has the words that you are supposed to be saying for the next 4 beats of music. And then it will have 4 more beats of music, or however many it's going to give them, to get moving. And then it will tell you what to say before the next time. They're starting the action of the preceding line on the ... We have talked mostly about Contra in this room, but we are also a traditional square dance committee, so that we deal with not only squares, traditional squares and quadrilles, but with mixers, line dances, Kentucky running set, trios. I do pentagrams, other people do all kinds of fool things. Hexagonals, exploding squares, double squares, tandem squares, you name it. If you are looking for information like that, the gentleman in the back in the green shirt is Stu Shacklet. He has a book out on Contra, mostly. Another feller back there, where'd he go? Cal Campbell has Cal and Ken Kernan and Bob Howell put together a book, Dancing for Busy People, which is available downstairs with one of the vendors. That has sections for all of these things. He's got mescalanza, he's got all kinds of things in it. This gentleman up here has a treasury of dances to share. Oh, that's Howell's, Campbell's book up there. You go. That's a very handy thing. Each page has a separate dance. You can deal out a whole evening's program because it's in loose leaf format.
One last comment that I'd like to make. How many of you are sight callers? Contra prompting is not a sight activity. That is a total no-no.
Yeah.
You must stay with the rules that we have given you this morning. Contra cannot be called successfully by sight. Those people who try to call Contra by sight are well known to us all and very easily avoided.
Okay,
so
one
please
thing
don't.
that makes a tremendous difference is if you tell the dancers before you start, you are responsible for your feet and your position. The Contra pattern doesn't change. We don't hash Contras. It's 64 beats. Most of the patterns are simple enough that after you've been to them 3 or 4 times, you should be able to remember them. And what I do is I'll cue it through about 4 times, and then when they get ready to do the next move, which might be a do-si-do, I'll say, do what with your corner? And they all go, do-si-do, and then they do it. And then I say, and then they star or chain or whatever. They know it. Once they know it, you shut up and let them dance to the music. It's a very rare thing that happens nowadays to let dancers just dance to the music. Even the round dance cuers are cueing all the way through the whole thing. That was never the original intention of the round dancing. Now, we're going to open the floor to questions, so if you have any...
2 of them right in front. How about the guy in the green? That's Stu, isn't it?
That's Stu Shacklett back there, who's headed Kentucky Dance
Stand up, Stu.
program. They've got a dance camp. If you want to go spend a summer vacation...
Mike. If you're a sight caller and you are a round dance cuer, you get along pretty good doing contras because you'll do it like a round dance prompted ahead. Go ahead, Stu.
Just for information purposes, the Contra and traditional committees, when I was chairman back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, we as a group developed a pamphlet called Contra Prompting Handbook. And we give it to the Board of Governors of CALLERLAB to produce and share it with everybody, and they didn't see fit to print it, so I printed it. And I have that, and it's a composite of everybody who was on the committee at that time putting information into this thing. And all of this stuff that's been done here today is in that little booklet, in that little pamphlet. If you're interested in the pamphlet, would like to have one, if you'll give me your name and address before you leave, I'll see that you get one, okay?
This gentleman up front here.
Before he finishes, I'd like to say that the Contra and Traditional Dance Committee has been publishing quarterly selections in directions. They have decided that it takes up too much space in directions when there are too many people in CALLERLAB who are not interested in it. We are going to have our own newsletter. We can go up to 8 sides, 4 pages, 8 sides. And if you wish to receive that newsletter, you need to get your name on the sign-up sheet that went around for attendance. If you came in late and didn't sign up, if you have your name on that and your name is listed in the CALLERLAB membership, you will get 1 copy of the newsletter. In it will be a tear-out sheet saying, "I wish to be put on this mailing list." Then you will continue to get copies of the newsletter. It'll be published quarterly, and I solicit questions and
we have 6 minutes
information.
for questions. 6 minutes for questions.
You've got a question. Go, sir.
I have that book. My name's Corbin Geis, and I don't know if this is really a question. I need a visual to see this. I have the book, Dancing for Busy People. Great little book. And there's a Virginia no reel and a Virginia reel, and I teach into the grade schools a lot, and I've done the Virginia no reel. I don't know how to reel the set.
Can I have 3 couples quickly?
You got me.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of right arm turns.
Yes, I'll show you how to do it. Quickly, we need 3 couples. Because time is short and there's so much to cover in this field, if any of you want to stick around and ask a question or anything during the break for a few minutes, I will stay here to answer as much as I can. All right, now then, it's very simple. You are going to dance with everybody of the opposite sex, or in the opposite line in the case of children. All right? You're going to do it like this. Let's go back to the good old elbow hook. You hook right elbows with your partner. Number one couple only. Now wait a minute. Freeze. All right. Everybody else, kind of keep your eyes on those 2 people. If you're a guy, keep your eye on the girl. If you're a girl, keep your eye on the gentleman. Get your left elbow ready. And when I say get it ready, put it there. Because if you don't do it now, you'll forget. Okay? When they come to you, you take just a tiny half step forward to meet them so they know who it is they're supposed to go to, because by then they haven't got the least idea where they are. All right. Now then, head couple, turn your partner by the right once around and a little bit more. Go to the first person in the line with the left. Go back to your partner with the right. Now go to the next person in the line with the left. And your partner to the right and so forth. When you get to the foot, turn back to your own side and then do the next thing in the dance, which generally is up the center. Yes. Everybody's active, but these people are the most active. Now, come back up to the head of the set and let me show you the challenge version of that. This is for a group who's been doing it for a long time. Typically, teenagers do it once they've got it. And so, if they're dancing very well, you can give them this, which will result in absolute pandemonium, but they have fun with it. Do the same thing. Hook partner right, first one in line with the left. Partner right, next one in line with the left. Couple number 2 start. Hook partner right, first one in line with the left. Partner right, next one in line with the left. Couple number 3 start. Hook partner right, the first one in line with the left. Anyway, that is the challenge version. Hey guys, you're in the wrong line. This is an exact science. So this is exactly once around. And make sure when you do it that you do it. But you get a whole long string of teenagers, and if they're comfortable and they've been successful, they will really enjoy tackling this. Boy, unless you tell them to keep moving up and compensating, they will. But the thing that you should remember in the teaching key, each dance has a teaching key. If you figure that out, you're 90% on your way to success. Figure out your teaching key, make a note of it on the back of your card or on the bottom of your card so you never forget to use it when you're teaching. With this particular movement, what's the teaching key? The teaching key is that you must wait one time before you start the next couple. Why? Because the 2 couples standing together are dancing. Okay? So you have to wait till the first couple moves to the third couple and gets ready to go on before you start the second couple. Yes?
Seal Potter of Pierce, Arizona. I have done this, I'm sorry, I've done this, but what I do is I sashay them up and reel them back, and then I split them and finish the reel that way.
Yes, you can do that as well. As I said earlier, there is a whole body of Virginia reels. Don't make the mistake of thinking it's only one routine. The Virginia reel is many, many different dance compositions. The one identifiable characteristic that most of them have is that they have the do side do, right elbow, left elbow thing, and most of them include this reeling action.
We're going to have to cut it short. We're out of time. If you have more questions, you can stay after, and we'll be happy to answer them.
Come up and visit with us.
Please make sure that your name is on the mailing sheet if you want to get the notes from this. I don't know what went wrong in the office.
Thank you for your attendance. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you all very much to
Thank you. Mona?
Les Henkel and Mona Cannel, and I'm Yona.